Welcome again to the Old Principle. We teach a little bit of English, and as you well know, old people love to give their philosophy of life. So this is a little bit of a philosophy session, but mostly English and always an interesting story. Today's lesson is number 172, a boy rescued and adopted. Whoa, that doesn't look like a nice place. 一个房子在燃烧着. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to listen to the story, and then we will come back and look at it sentence by sentence.
Story 172, A Boy Rescued and Adopted. It seemed like Richard's world had come to an end. His father lay dead at the top of the stairs, and Mom lay nearby. The thick smoke choked his throat. Then the 6-year-old saw flames advancing toward him. Richard rushed back into his bedroom, and slamming the door, he ran to the window, opened it, and screamed, "Help me!" But people just stood around, making no move to help him. Then a man rushed into the house and bounded up the stairs. As he burst into the room, he called through his coughs, "Come on, son!" He lifted Richard into his bleeding arms. "Hold on tight!" The fire blazed on both sides, and Richard felt the heat. He buried his face in the man's shirt, but his ears and fingers were burned. In the yard, attendants helped him into an ambulance. "Where's the man?" he asked. No one knew. When he left the emergency room, a woman drove him to a children's home. "You'll stay here until we find you a home." Weeks later, "Ready?" the woman motioned to Richard. The boy followed. "Your parents are dead, so we'll find someone to adopt you." To a packed courtroom, the judge asked, "Will anyone here adopt Richard?" Everyone was quiet. Just then the door opened and a man entered. He approached the bench and said, "Sir, I'm new in town, but I want to adopt the boy." "How do we know you'll take care of him?" The man didn't answer, but rolled up his sleeves. Both arms were covered with scars. He was the man who had saved the boy's life. "I'll take care of him," was all he said. The judge tapped the gavel on the desk quietly, as though out of reverence for the love of the man for the boy. "You may adopt him," the judge smiled. Case dismissed.
Welcome back. Now we need to look at this story. It seemed like Richard's world had come to an end. Okay? When it says his world, 他的世界, Richard 世界, he's a little boy. We will find out that in just a minute. 他的世界已经到了尽头. 到了尽头. That means it's come to an end. Why is it coming to an end? His father lay dead. 他的爸爸已经死在那个地方. Okay? 躺在这个地方已经死了. At the top of the stairs. Where is it? 这个楼梯上面的他就躺在这个地方，他已经去世了。Okay? And his mom lay nearby. 他的母亲也这个躺在这个地方，他也去世了。So, of course, you could understand that it would say, or our story would say, his world had come to an end. His mother died, his father died. But that's not all. There's more going on. The thick smoke choked his throat. Oh, the thick, okay, thick 就是浓的 okay, 烟呢 okay. The thick smoke choked. What does it mean to choke? Now, normally we say to choke, it's just like, grabbing around here to choke. Okay. But in this case, the thick smoke choked him. Just be careful, or I'm not even going to finish this lesson. I'm choking. Okay. So the thick smoke choked his throat.他的脖颈, okay. And then the 6-year-old saw flames advancing toward him. How old is he? He is 6 years old. And he saw the flames, okay, 这个火焰 advancing, coming closer. So these are the flames that are advancing. They're coming closer and closer to him. Now, going on, Richard rushed back to his bedroom. Of course, usually a fire, it comes up the stairways. Okay, 这个火就会上这个楼梯啊。So he rushed back, 急忙着就回去他的卧房 and slamming the door, 就大大的就关门啊。He ran to the window, of course. He ran to the window, he opened it and screamed. 打开 and then he screamed. To scream 就是大大的这个喊叫 to scream. Scream and sometimes we say 尖叫 尖叫. He screamed at the top of his voice, "Help me! Help me!" Going on. But people just stood around, making no move to help him. Oh dear. But people, that means the people watching outside, 旁观者, the people on the sidelines, the people that are out there watching the fire, they stood around. Just stood there, 就站着动着不动 making no move to help him. 动的不动不看起来 to make no move means they didn't start to do anything. They just stood there. Going on. Then a man rushed into the house and bounded, jumping. Bounding means to jump, jump, jump. Bounding. Bounding also sometimes is a term in running, and when you're running, you're bounding. It's running very fast. You're bounding. Boom, 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 boom. So he bounds up the stairs. He's running up the stairs. 上楼梯啊. Now this, of course, is very dangerous because already Richard's father and mother are dead. Okay? He rushed up the house, into the house, bounded up the stairs, going on, and he burst into the room. Okay, what does it mean to burst in the room? 冲进去, 冲进去. Okay, to burst into the room. and he called through his coughs, okay, 边咳边叫, okay, 边咳边叫. He called through his coughs, 边咳边叫. Come on, son. 儿子小孩子来吧来吧. He lifted Richard into his bleeding arms. He lifted Richard into his bleeding arms. Okay, this man, whoever this man is, his arms are bleeding. 他的出血. Okay, so he's being burnt very badly, but he picks up the boy in his bleeding arms. Okay, 他的手臂就出血 arms, and he said, hold tight, hold tight. Going on, the fire blazed on both sides, so 两边都有火. The fire blazed, 燃烧 blaze to blaze, 燃烧着在两边. And Richard felt the heat. Of course, he felt the heat. So when you feel the heat, what do you do next? He buried his face into the man's shirt. What does it mean when it says he buried his face? 他的脸埋在他的衬衫. Okay, a shirt. This is a shirt. Okay, and so he buried his face. That means he put his face over here. Well, except for he had to use his hands to hold on to the man. So he put his face down there right against the man's shirt. He buried his face in the man's shirt, but his ears and fingers were burned. But his ears, 他的耳朵 were burned. How do you say when you get burned? You gotta take a 烫烧. Okay, but this is very seriously burned. And his fingers, the 手指头, also were burned very badly. Going on, in the yard, 在这个院子里, attendants helped him into an ambulance. The attendants, what is it? The people that have come to help. Okay, 医护人员 into an ambulance. An ambulance is a vehicle, a car, especially to take sick people to the hospital. So, an ambulance. So they help them in there. Where is the man? Where is the man? He asked. So the little boy said, where is the man? But strangely enough, nobody knew where the man was. Nobody knew what had happened to the man. Apparently, he disappeared. When he left the emergency room, okay, this is going on. This is Richard. This is the little boy. When he left the 急救房, the emergency room, a woman drove him to the children's home. Okay, 有一个女人 drove him, 就开车子送他。When we use the word drive, drive is 开车, but if you drive a person, then what you mean is that you are driving the car and taking a person to somewhere. So the woman drove him to a children's home. And she said, you'll stay here until we find you a home. 你会留在这个地方，住在这个地方 until 直到 we find you a new home. Why did they need to find a new home for him? Because apparently I don't know if there were any relatives, but for sure his mother and father had died in the fire. So now he is in a special children's home, and during this time in the children's home, he is 复原, he's getting better, he's getting well, recovering from his burns. Weeks later, 很多星期之后，一段时间，很多星期 Ready? The woman motioned to Richard. Are you ready? Going on. The boy followed. Richard, 这个小孩子，小男孩，跟着他。Your parents are dead. Okay. So we will find someone to adopt you. 我们会帮助你找到某一个人收养你。So we are going to help you find new parents. That's the idea there. To adopt means to 收养. I personally, I have two sisters. 我有两个妹妹，两个是被收养的了，不是我的亲妹妹。But since from very early they grew up in our family, so they are just like my sisters. Okay, go ahead. To a packed courtroom, the judge asked, will anybody here adopt Richard? Okay? Will anybody here adopt Richard? Now, we're in a courtroom. 是在法庭啊. Because ultimately, the court, 这个法庭会做决定。到底谁能够收养他了 Okay? So the packed courtroom. So what does it mean it's packed? That means that it is full of people. That means that there are many, many people there. The judge asked, will anyone here adopt Richard? 有没有人想要这个收养Richard? But everyone was quiet. Nobody said anything. Quiet. And then, just then, the door opened and a man entered. 刚好那时候 The door opened. So a door opened, and a man came in to the court. That's interesting. Going on. He approached the bench and said, okay, he approached the bench, okay, 法官席, okay, a bench, it means usually, when we use the word bench, in a court scene. A bench usually means it's the place where the 法官坐的一个台. Okay, the translation that I have is 法官席, but whatever it is, that's where the judge is, 法官. Okay, he approached the bench and said, "Sir, I'm new in town, but I want to adopt the boy." Okay, now, when it says, "Sir," of course, this is 很有礼貌, 先生. Normally in the court, we would say, "Your Honor," because that's the judge. But anyway, here it says, "Sir, I am new in town." 我是新来的，来这个城市。But I would like to adopt the boy. Okay, he would like to adopt the boy. Now, I must explain to you right now that if you were new in town, 如果你是新来一个城市，没有人认识你。Nobody knows you. Because nobody knows you, how can anybody trust you? You see. Okay. So he said, "I am new in town." And so the judge said to him, and of course, this is obviously what the judge would say, "How do we know that you will take care of him?" Probably I should have added, "How do we know that you will take good care of him?" Okay, 我怎么知道你会好好照顾他？你会照顾他？ Of course, this is natural. Why? Because he is new in town. Going on. The man didn't answer. 没有回答. But rolled up his sleeves. Okay, what does it mean to roll up your sleeves? So he took his sleeve, something like this, and he started to roll up his sleeves, just like that. Okay, we got that. He rolled up his sleeves, and both arms were covered with scars, 伤痕. Okay, so he showed his arms. Didn't say a word, he just showed them, 给他们看一看他手臂的伤痕. They were, the man didn't answer, he just rolled up his sleeves, both arms were covered. That means many of them, many scars. Go ahead. He was the man who'd saved the boy's life. Okay, 就是那个人是救了这个 Richard 的生命. He had run into the flames. He had, what can you say? He had risked his life, 冒了自己的生命 to save that little boy. And so he said, he was the man who saved the boy's life. I'll take care of him, was all he said. 他只不过回答, okay. 他只不过回答. In other words, he didn't say a lot of words. Why should he say a lot of words? Because this is evidence. Evidence. All of these scars are evidence that he loved the little boy and already risked his life. 这个冒了自己的生命，愿意 拯救这个小孩子。The judge, the man, going on. Okay, the judge tapped the gavel on the desk quietly. Okay, do you know what well, I don't have a hammer here. A gavel is, a gavel is like a hammer. It's a hammer. And he's boom, boom, boom. Now, usually when a judge pounds 这个法锤, maybe that's what you saw, I don't know, and he pounds it on the table. This is when he makes his decision. And when he does that, everybody pays attention. The judge tapped 锤啊, the gavel on the desk quietly, as though out of reverence. 看起来好像是蛮尊敬的，很尊敬的。So, to reverence, to 尊敬, because, why? He saw the scars on the man's hands. For the love of the man for the boy. 尊敬, he respected, he reverenced, he appreciated the man's love for the boy. Going on. You may adopt him. 你可以收养他. The judge smiled. 他就有笑容. Case dismissed. Okay, 这个案件已经结束. Okay, so that's the story. Whoa, we're running out of time. How can I finish this? But we have an email address, theoldprinciple@gmail.com, and we have a website. And the website's address is www.theoldprinciple.org. And with that, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.